And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Curtis Thompson, and we're back with Let's Play Shining in the Darkness. Before we get started, back into the Labyrinth, let's just double check our inventory here. Yep, we purchased the gauntlet, some more healing items, so we're good to go to journey back into the Labyrinth at level 4, it looks like. Take one look. So 17 IQ, which, as we covered last time, is kind of useless. 14 speed, 10 luck, 29 attack, which is really good, and 8 defense, not so good. But we can purchase items to make up for that. So moving right along, keep falling for that again. But we're just gonna cover some already treaded ground, looking for some fights, since we're not quite ready to take on a very specific enemy that's down in the level 1 Labyrinth. Because there are bosses in this game. There are certain encounters in this game that you will have to deal with, because certain milestones in the game require that you take on these particular bosses. Now, kill the pitworm. Bigger threat. And even the minor fights in this game will demand that you make sure that you manage your resources properly, engaging the most dangerous enemies, making sure that you minimize damage to yourself while maximizing damage to the enemy. These are all very basic principles of an RPG, but it's definitely applicable here as well, because a lot of your excursions into the Labyrinth become a task of resource management in order to make progress, in order to level up your characters, that kind of thing. And we're already doing a lot better against the slimy oozes. And I mean, they're not supposed to be that big of a threat to begin with anyway. Not at level 4 anyway. At level 1, they were a bit more of a threat, but now that we're properly leveled, or at least getting there, we are far more trained and equipped to handle them handily. In fact, before too long, they may start running away from us, because they just see us as too big of a threat. But unfortunately, in order to get our 2 new party members, Milo Brax and Pirate Mist, we have to defeat the first boss that's in this section of the Labyrinth. Which means a lot of these fights are going to be a bit of a grind starting out. And that's fine. This particular section is supposed to teach you the very basics of the game. And, you know, how everything's supposed to work, teach you how to properly manage your resources, how to properly, you know, take risks. For a second there, I thought something popped out of the water, and it's like, that's not supposed to happen. Not for a while. Eventually, we'll have enemies that'll just pop right out of the still water that's on the floor. But anyway, so in case you didn't realize, a lot of this game, well, I've been professing this the entire time so far, this Let's Play about managing resources, and that's my forte. That's things I really love doing, is managing a lot of resources and whatnot. Which is what I wish was in more games these days, because it would feel like I might be terrible. Oh, man, I've gotta kill them. Because I feel absolutely terrible in some of these fights, or in some of these games, I should say, because I'm just really bad at the combat system, but I'm really good at logistical management, and it's the tasks that seem really mundane. I feel that's my forte, is in the mundane, is in the logistics, is in managing lots of different resources and whatnot, which is why I really like Disgaea 5. At first I thought this might be rough, which is why I really liked Disgaea 5, because Disgaea 5 has so many itty-bitty little things that you have to manage, that you have to keep track of. Oh, great. Joyous. At least I'm not doing 4 to 6 points each this time around. Hell, they're even missing now. But that's why I really liked Disgaea 5, because of all the resource management, all the logistical and clerical stuff that you have to take care of for all your characters and whatnot. And we go up to level 5 for 7 hit points, 3 useless IQ points, 3 speed points, that's pretty nice. 2 luck points, really nice, 4 attack points, and 1 defense point. Aside from the luck and speed, that was pretty average. And so, like, I feel like, and don't get me wrong, I love the strategy aspect of Disgaea 5, but it feels like I'm not that great at it. And eventually, if I can afford a capture card, I might start an LP of Disgaea 5 as well, since I really like that game as well. And the upcoming Mario and Rabbids game is also going to be high on my list because, once again, I love strategy games, I love logistical games, that kind of thing. And, like for something like StarCraft, right? There's a lot of logistical stuff that has to be done in that game as well. And I feel like it would be so much better if someone else could handle the actual combat in that game, whereas I handle all the logistical, all the resource management, that kind of thing. I think that would be interesting. Instead of, like, especially for the co-op portion of it, that would be kind of cool. But I'm kind of unique when it comes to that mindset of a game. And eventually we'll be doing the Shining Force games as well after this point, but we're going to be focusing on this for now. And just slowly making our way through the Labyrinth. And you're going to notice I'm backtracking through a lot of already explored ground. And that's because you're going to get a lot of spare encounters out of the way. You're going to get a lot of decent experience points to level you up, because and these are dark jellies, aren't they? Yep. Ow. Well, kill him first. And it's very important that you level up your character. And this may seem like mindless grinding, but honestly, a lot of days I'm okay with mindless grinding, especially when you're doing YouTube in the back or listening to an audiobook in the back, that kind of thing. And I just love more casual, low-level grinding in most games because it allows me to, you know, catch up on different aspects of the YouTube culture, the Twitch culture, that kind of thing. But when you're LPing it, you can't exactly focus on something else other than whoever's watching it. And that's fine too. And if anyone has any questions, I'll definitely address them, that kind of thing. Might need to heal before too long because we are entering a pretty nasty section. Because we are going to be looking at an upgrade in enemies here pretty soon. Yeah, this is where we left off last time. Yeah, this is a dead end. And here pretty quick we're going to be looking at brand new enemies for this section of the Labyrinth. And they're not too bad, but they can be a bit of a pain. So, as with a lot of aspects of this game, you need to make sure that you are properly prepared for these encounters. Yeah, oh wait, no, we've been here before, so we're not quite where we left off. Manape. Of course. 2 points, Manape for 3, right? Nope, missed. Another 2-pointer. Another couple levels or so, and we'll practically make the Manapes and the Dark Jellies pretty much useless. And then I believe this is the twisty-turny one. Yeah, this is the twisty-turny turn. And this is where we left off. Right here is where we left off. Right, yeah. So we should be running into 2 new enemy types in this section. Except we ran into more Dark Jellies. Which are annoying, of course, at this level, but they're not too bad for another 2-pointer. That's okay. And there is a boss at the end of this section that we're at. I'm not sure if we'll take him on at the level we're at. We may have to bounce once we reach him before actually engaging him. Here's one of the new enemy types, Killer Bees. They're basically a physical upgrade. They don't really do anything special, but they do hit pretty hard. Yeah, C for 6. Yeah, get rid of him. So we're constantly running into enemies that hit harder and harder and harder. Which should be true in any RPG, to be perfectly honest. 2-pointer? Nope. No, 1-pointer this time. Against the guy that already attacked. Great. Fabulous. But there is one more enemy type that we'll have to deal with before we reach the boss area. And I'm not sure we have the equipment to really take him on. At least not yet. You're going to find these all over the place. These are just pools of water. You could search it, nothing really happens. Part of me think like these are actually generally useless throughout the entirety of the game. They don't really do anything. There's a feels like there was something that was meant to happen with these, but it never got coded into the game. Now there's some that are golden, and that plays a part into the fast travel system. But there's also a special one that we have to find later on. Originally, like, I feel like it'd be great if they maybe a ROM hack would add monsters to those. So if you're feeling particularly brave, and more dark jellies. So if you're feeling particularly brave, you can take it on for some additional experience points. And one of the things you're going to notice is that a lot of the surprise monsters and treasure chests and whatnot are going to be a lot tougher than some of the ones you're going to run into just as a normal encounter. And that provides a bit of a hidden challenge for whenever you go into the Labyrinth and are exploring new territory. Because, as I said last episode, sometimes enemies like to pop out of treasure chests, sometimes the treasure chest is the baddie, so that was a bit more costly than it needed to be. Hey, level 6. 9 hit points, 3 IQ, 3 speed, that's very nice, 2 luck, 5 attack, that's nice, and 2 defense points. That was a really nice level up overall. There should be one more enemy type that we should be running into before too long. And more dark jellies. Get rid of him. So at this point they should be only hitting for 1 now. Yeah. So at level 6 they're pretty much useless. As opposed to when we were like level 2 or 3 where they were hitting us for 4 or 5 each. Like the man-apes. I really should have healed. In fact, I'm going to do so right now. Because I'm about to get slammed. There's a 6er, there's a 4-pointer, there's another 4-pointer. We need to kill the killer bees. There we go. Take one out immediately. For another 5-pointer, he's going to do another 4. Nope, 3. Take him out. There we go. And dark bats. They deal mostly physical damage, but there is a small chance at poison. Very small chance, but there is a chance. Having to deal with poison is, at this stage in the game, it's pretty detrimental. I'm gonna use another herb. Because in case we run into another encounter like that, we're gonna need it. Should be another herb. Yes, it is. Alright, so we get a free attack round on these guys. These guys are dropping a lot more experience and gold than the previous enemies, which makes sense. Tougher enemies, better rewards, that kind of thing. And this should just be gold here, I believe. Yep, 100 gold. I'll take it. How much gold are we up to? 488. I believe that's enough for a steel saber or a helmet. trying to think what we will need the most, either more attack or more defense. I'm not entirely certain. Oh, more of these guys. Great. A couple 4-pointers, right? Oh, there's a 5-pointer. And another 5-pointer. And, oh, these guys can also inflict poison. That's just fantastic. That's gonna be... We're gonna have to take care of that before we... You know... Yeah, you'll notice the pink flashing as we're moving. And that means we're losing, I believe it's 1 hit point per flash. Now that's gonna make this so much harder. Of course, one enemy right after the other. Yeah, there's no way we can really take on the boss monster in this section with a poison on us. Yep. These are just statues. They don't really do anything. Nothing. But certain statues later on will have special things that they do. This is another door that we will need a key to open. Can't do anything with it. I'm not sure if we could make it to the entrance with this poison going on. Alright. So, not the first corner, but the second corner after that, that's where the boss monster is going to be at. If we take another couple steps, we will run into him, but we're not going to right away. Not when we're poisoned like this. I didn't expect to get poisoned by these things going... And I'm not sure if we can make it to back to the entrance as we are, but we're going to give it a good shot. Especially since most of these enemies are pretty underwhelming at this point, with the exception of the bees and the bats. And we didn't really take damage from the poison during that fight. Not that I noticed. I'm gonna see if we take any damage from the poison here. There's 2-pointer. So it looks like we don't really take damage from poison here. Not in combat, anyway. Of course. So it may just be something that just affects us outside of combat. So I'm not sure we can really make it, not when we're constantly getting pinged for 1 by these things. And we're constantly getting pinged for 1 or 2 points just by walking. Oh, whoop. Of course! We might be dead here. I could probably survive 1 more round. 3-pointer and another 4-pointer? No, 2-pointer. Oh, we can keep going. Down to 18. And only 1 herb. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's try and get out of this area ASAP. So we don't... of course! I have to deal with more of them. Killer bees are a bigger threat. For another 3-pointer. Oh, it's still hitting me for 6. Now I'm definitely certain we won't be able to make it. Whew. They are really adamant about killing me before I can leave. Another 4-pointer and the manic for 2? No. You could just kill him. And we went up to level 7 for 9 hit points, 3 IQ, 2 speed, 2 luck, 4 attack, and 1 defense point. Whoop. Oh, kill the dark bat. Yeah, pretty sure we're not going to be able to make it to the entrance at this point. Let me see just how much we're taking. That 27. Yeah, we're taking a tick every 3 to 4 moves, it feels like. And most enemies, they're either gonna miss you, or they're gonna or they're only gonna hit you for 1. Once you out-level them. When you severely out-level them, they won't be able to do much of any damage at all. And the same goes for your companions. If their attack is too weak, they won't be able to do damage at all. Down to 21. We probably won't make it, but we're going to give it an honest try. 19. Of course. Down to 17. Oh, jeez. This is why poison's such a big deal. I might have to... Like, now we're to the point where the enemies don't necessarily... Oh, no. Well, the enemies that are not exactly that much of a threat. It's just the poison is just going to sap us. Down to 11, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, we're not going to make it. Down to 7. Yeah, we're gonna have to angel feather out of here, which means we're gonna have to rebuy a whole lot of items before we can prioritize equipment. Ugh. $10 gold, thank you very much. Was that 675 I saw, or was that 375? $665. Oh wait, we gotta get the poison removed. Grip of a powerful venom. Oh, 5 gold? Hell yeah. There we go. 126 more experience points. Yes, please record the adventure. Yeah, we're not done shopping yet. So we're gonna go back to the alchemist, because we need to prioritize a couple things. Angel feather. Oh, against the boss, I don't know if the short sword's gonna cut it, so we're gonna go ahead and... I'm gonna pick up the bronze saber. I don't believe we can use the short axe, but we can use the sword. But that's a ways away. 75% of that would be 150. We could get a sword, but then we would have... That's tempting. Let me find out for certain. 150. That will put us at 780. It's still going to put us pretty weak side on the equipment, on the defense, but we might be able to hedge our bets on the offense, however. See, usually at this point, I would usually pick up a bronze saber and a leather helm. Maybe swap out the gauntlet for a leather shield. And at that point, I would be able to tank up quite a bit of damage from the boss. But I kind of want to see if this would work out. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Yeah, we're gonna pick up a sword. And that only gives us a little bit of gold left for some healing items. Let me see, that gives us 3 herbs. The deep poison looks attractive, but I don't know if... because that's such a rare occurrence to get poisoned down there, but... I mean, it just happened to us, and part of me really wants to just have one in case it happens again, but that's... once again, you only have 8 inventory slots for this sort of thing. I'm gonna go with 3 herbs. And that puts us at 0 gold. Oh, don't go yet. I have something that... Magic Mirror. That's way too expensive considering I have 0 gold at the moment. And also, that's kind of a niche item for one of our casters. So, we're gonna have to skip out on that for now. Once again, make sure you equip your stuff. We go from 42 weapon factor to a whopping 62 weapon factor, which will be great. 26 armor factor, man, that's really low for this boss. But we can give it a shot and see what happens. So, I'm gonna go ahead and save it one more time. Now that we're properly equipped for the task ahead. Of course, 126 more. Alright, thank you all very much for your time, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe to, you know, see more of my stuff. If not, don't worry, thank you for giving me a shot, and I appreciate your attention and time very much. So you all have an excellent afternoon, and I'll catch you later. Take care.